Hello, everybody. This is Tekin speaking. Now it's time to start. And thank you very much for your time. For today, we will have approximately 1 hour, and we will speak about the current status of our project plan and after COVID, and we start reconstruction and how we can make analyze for delay and what was the negative impact of COVID on our schedule and also budget and resource planning. And I know that this is not an easy time for all of us, and we are having a lot of demands. Our clients requested, especially for infrastructure project, how Tilos can help understanding for current status of performance and project and redeveloping for recovery plan. And I will try to help you during this 1 hour training, how we can, with Tilos, replan remaining of the work and try to finish project on time. And just small information about myself. I'm a civil engineer and working a long time with the project planning. And as you know that this is now obligatory to have a mask, so that I update my picture for during this time. As I mentioned, I'm a civil engineer, but I have a 20 years experience for project management, for BIM, for digital transformations, and with the certificate of many international project management associations and the solutions, which is I have very strong background for Primavera, Tilos, our projects, Isetia, and also Costos. And me personally, I'm very happy and glad to spending time for delivering services, training, and consulting to international customers in worldwide. And you can follow me in the LinkedIn, and you can find my articles and my recommendation regarding the project management and digital transformation. We are a company based in Poland, and our company is operating together with our partners over 80 countries. And we are very proud that we can deliver the services over 2,500 worldwide known customers. And just if you look at it, some of the projects which we deliver the services like Trans-Anatolia gas pipeline projects, Warsaw Metro projects, and the railway project in South Africa, Doha Metro, Dubai Metro, some of the projects where Tilos has been implemented, and our company was taking also part in many of those projects which I am showing now. Tilos is very much standard at the moment in Europe and Middle East. Some of the customers who are using Tilos, you can find out, it just gives you an idea how the wide usage of the system in the many different countries. Okay. Before I come to subject about how to make the delay analysis, for the people, we know that many people today listening first time, what is the Tilos and what is the time location diagram. That's why I would like to just shortly explain linear project management and also give you a hint about how linear planning works. First of all, Tilos name is coming TI time, LO location, S is system. So that Tilos means time, location, system. And this solution is used for pipeline, railway, highway, tunneling, engineering, and transmission projects. And in our industry, we call infrastructure and linear project. These are the projects where they have one characteristic, which is the dimension of the location, distance, and people call different terms like time change diagram, time distance diagram, line of balance, time location diagram, French diagram. These are all the same and letting you to manage time and location integrated plan, which is repetitive work is very much happening in that kind of project. We repeat the same set of activities in different location, and that's why it will help you to minimize your data entry. And this also gives the graphical interface, which is we can really cut the time for developing the schedule. And one of the biggest advantage of Tilos also, we provide one paper, which is A4 format, A3 format, and all the stakeholders, project team members will understand about the strategy of the planning. Because when we use the Gantt chart-based project, only the planner can understand what's happening inside of the thousands of the activities. And this method, this concept can be used in very early feasibility studies, also can be used during the project tender for many of our customers using time location diagram for building the tender planning strategy, how many TBM they will have, how many crews they will have. And as I mentioned that after TBM has been, after the project is awarded, they are using for productions. And also today we will speak about how we can use for special studies kind of delay analysis and maybe claims, and these are the area which Tilos has been used. Of course, it can be used by project owner, general contractor, subcontractor, designer, engineering companies. It's giving the common understanding for all the project stakeholders about the project status. It's integrated by time and distance information. And of course, we have also strong capabilities with Tilos integrating the budget, because if you change anything in your project, many people would like to know what will be effect of the project. That's why we do for time, location, and budget planning. And of course, you can integrate it resources, labor resources, material resources, and also system is not only planning, system is also having strong controlling capabilities, because when you plan, you can later on enter the actual information, and the next step that you compare yourself, what was the plan, what is the actual, and what is the remaining of the work. And this is very important. If you would like to measure, you have to plan your project successfully. Of course, time, location are two dimensions, but also budget. But we have too many factors in the project realization, kind of weathers, kind of special time period time, the area where we work, like the soil type, environment protection, utility diversion, road diversion, radio actions. And now one of the factors which we were never considered is a COVID time. So that it's a pandemic period, and it's really affected so many international projects negatively. And we would like to integrate it, COVID case, with our ongoing project to understand what was the impact and measure what is the impact, then rebuild our remaining time of the plan. That's why one of the new items which we add is COVID, all right? But before analyzing about the COVID impact, we would like to share with you knowledge about what does it mean time location diagram. As you see that this is a sample. In the sample, I would like to present it to you that this is the dimension of the time, which is March, April, and the May is represent the month. And here we have 12, 13 this is representation of the working weeks. You can plan week, month, day, hours in this methodology, okay? And on the top, we have this area is a distance. So that this is the 0 meters, 100 meter, 200 meter, and we are going to build 1000 meter samples for the tunnel, okay? And this is a mountain tunnel, and you can see that this is the tunnel which we are going to build in our project. And of course, I implemented here also the distance and soil type planning. and see how the concept is working. Our first activity, I just enter here, all right? And this is our first activity. And when we just go to our activity, how to read this activity? First of all, you can see this is my touch point. If I go to up, this is my start location. So that activity will be giving me idea about that where I am going to start. If we draw it here, and this is the area which we are planning to start our work, okay? And if we go to here, left side, and you can see that this is the start date of our project, okay? And we can understand from here, this is my start date. I am planning to work this first kilometer, let's say 0 meter, starting date is first week of the March. If you go to end of this task and go to up, it means that my team is planning to be here, and you go to left side in the middle of the March. So that this is the how we are reading the one task in our project. Let's keep continue for our task, which is that you can see here that this is the second activity, third activity, fourth activity, fifth activity, 6, 7, and we can complete our work here. And if you go to up, you can see that this is the 1000 meter. If you go to left or right, means that end of the April, we plan to finish our excavation work in this area, okay? And let's see what we can get more in this case. For example, if you would like to ask me the question, okay, could you please tell us, Tekin, when we are going to be in this area? How to read this diagram? Very simple. You just come to down and you touch the activity and go to left, and you can see that we are going to be here end of the first week in this area. You can ask me, okay, what about in the 600 meters? In the 600 meters, I just go to down and touch the activity and go to right. And you can see that in the middle of the third week of April, we are going to be in this area. What about in the 200 meters? Any distance, you just go down and the touch and the left, you can read this diagram. It's very simple, and it's really one activity, and you can read it all the data, all right? Here, let's go other direction. You can also ask the question about when we are going to be end of the March, so that you can just the other direction go and touch the activity, and you can see that end of the March we are going to be in 300 meters, so that both direction can be easy to understand the question. Let's move next step. What about if we have, so that this is the duration, so that end date and start date giving us the duration, and shape of activity also giving us productivity, which is 21 days per day. This is 20 meters per day. This is our plan. But you see that we have different colors, and each colors are representing different type of soils. And you know that the soil type is one of the factors impacting our crew performance. So that if we divided the different line, so that is going to perform in the first area with the plant rate 21 meters per day, the second time 20 meters per day, and here we can have 10 meters per day, so that when I register here my real soil type performance, you can see that my plant was 21 flat for each area, but due to I have different performance in different area, I am going to finish my project a bit late, right? So that this is the real example which is one of our customer schedule, highway mountain tunnels. The technique which used here called NATM. NATM is the new Australia tunnel method. And you can see that this is 3.6 kilometer mountain project, tunnel project. And the first area is estimated soil type. And second and the third line is giving actual soil type for 2 tunnels, because this is a mountain tunnel and we have 2 tunnels, and one is going and one is coming, which we call left and right tube. These are passenger transition and vehicle transition tunnels between connection the 2 tunnels, and these are our schedule. Let me explain you how it works. And you can see that I have here 2 crews working. So I have selected here the red tunnel, which is here. And when I go to down, it's showing me that my 1 team is starting here in this time for tunnel work. The black line is a baseline, color line is an actual, and here the red line is represented data date. So above the data date are work which completed, below the data date are work which is remaining. So that these works are remaining works, these all works are completed works. Okay, so that we can see which works executed, which works are remaining. Here I have second team, which is the first team is here and second team is here, so that you can see that first tunnel is starting here, second tunnel is starting here. And when I just come to here, I can see that third tunnel is here and the fourth crew is here, so that these are the start date easily can be visible. The black line, if I am below the black line, I am behind the plan. If I am ahead the black line, so that my schedule is going well. And as I mentioned, this is the meeting point, so that we plan to meet by 2 teams in here, because this is the meeting points. The gray lines are earthquake zones, because I don't want to go too much detail about this project. Earthquake zones, you can highlight it, because when you have an earthquake zones, you can't use the explosion for the excavation work. On the right side, we have also project budget and measure the project budget, and you can see these informations, right? Okay. Let's do another example, and later on we will move to live demo, and I will show you how we are recommending to rebuild your COVID impacted remaining of the plant. All right, here we have excavations, and you can see that this is another example. We are going to build 500,000 cubic meter excavation in 2,000 meters. This is the channel excavations. The concept is the same. You just define location information in your project, and here the time, and we start planning. This is my start location, end location. This is exactly the same, so that your project can be a tunnel, bridge, pipeline. Most important task, you have a location, and then you can use the same method, and you can also integrate it quantity of the work. If there will be any different type of soils, you can also integrate it in your 2,000 meters, and then you can plan and you can compare with your baseline program. This is the baseline and this is an actual, and you can realize we have 21 days delay because of the soil type difference. What to do on that? First of all, you can always rebuild your schedule. This is the target line. I am planning to have a 1 crew and working in the zone 1, and everything is okay. But when you go to zone 2, in the zone 3, you can see that we have here something is wrong, which is we are going to have a delay because we are supposed to be in the second of the week here, but because of that, this area, this is the delay, which we are going to have a 1 week delay because of the performance of this zone. All right. So what is the recommendation? We can here put the second team in the zone 6 and they complete the work together on time, so that we increase the number of the resources. Because if you are a general contractor or if you are a project owner, if your agreement with your subcontractor based on the achievements, not the resource numbers, you can add another team, another subcontractor in different location and complete the project on time. All right, and then your project will be finished here. And let's move to COVID's live demo, which is, I'm going to present it that before the COVID plan, after COVID impacts, and then what is the remaining of the work. People who attend today's session, we would like to provide you international certificate from Tilos with FND, 1 PDU. You just need to email our team by your name and surname, and the subject is a Tilos and COVID, and we will prepare and send your certificate. It's free of charge, and we will send you. So that please write the email or reply@fndsite.com and your name and surname, and we will provide you the certificate. All right. Let's move to live demo, and this is my Tilos program. Okay, so that we have 10 kilometer, 10,000 meter project. This is the location. Okay, so we can see that first kilometer, second kilometer, third kilometer, and I divided my project here in 200 meters. This is my Tilos program. Okay, and I have defined here 3 zones. Zone 1 is, I am here highlighted by red. This is a COVID-1. COVID-1 means that the pandemic started in the beginning of the March in many of country, and till the April end, it was a time they were almost stopped working in construction works because they very much slowed down. They shut down for many sites. But after beginning of May, some of the sites we start to open, and this is we call the COVID time 2. And starting from the 1st of June, we are expecting till the end of the June COVID time 3. And after June, God knows what will happen. Okay, we are positively thinking that, all right, it will be much better, but still there is an unknown. But we consider it that, okay, we will have our regular life. We come back in many countries. Life become a normal, but still we need to be careful about the social distance. All right. Okay. Now I am planning my activity, and my activity is a clearing activities and 80,000 cubic meters, and I am not considering any impact of the COVID. So that before COVID, because this is the plan, I start my construction work 1st of February, and you can see that I'm planning to have 8 kilometers work, and here, and this is the 80,000 quantity for clearing work. Okay, my plan was 80,000 cubic meters clearing work to make from starting from this area, which is when I selected this area, you can see that this is my start location 1,000, and you can see that this is also mentioned here 1,000, and here my end location 9,000, and this will be displayed here as a 9,000. The distance between here is showing the length is 8,000. For the date here is starting for showing me that 31st of January, and end date of my activity is here shown 16th of July. Duration of activity is here shown as 120 days. So that all this information which I would like to have is here. Let's call this our before COVID target plan and baseline. Okay, I can save the baseline because Tilos has a baseline, which is that you can go to tools and the baseline manager. You can develop here the baseline by adding the baseline. But I want to make now simulation by not creating the baseline and entering, changing the data date. But Tilos user knows that first things I save the baseline, then I enter the actual and compare baseline and actual. This is the similar like other planning software. Okay. So that today I would like to make, all right, what if my schedule of clearing impacted by COVID program? So that I go to here, select the same activity, which is actual one with the impacted of the COVID, so that my first period, all right, was the same line, because you can see that I am drawing the line exactly the same like what I planned. But when the COVID started, my performance is dropped down. And you can see that just the line is draw here and my performance is draw. What does it mean? Let me explain. Okay. My end of the here, April, we were planned to achieve 5,200 meters. But because the blue line is a COVID, we are going to have the same time. This is the date. And I am going to have delay here around 2.5 kilometers because of the COVID time. So that I'm supposed to be here, but unfortunately my team achieved it here. So that this is the gap, which is we are behind. Okay. So that I immediately see that I am 2.5 kilometers behind the plan. All right. So that this was the first time my performance, by the way, let me show you one information in the time profile. I have mentioned my system that in the COVID time, my productivity is 10%. So that 90% I am less performing it here. So that here I create a time profile, all right? And in this time profile, I am saying that in this time, my performance is this. The second time, my performance is increased. The third time, this will be the 50%. And after this, I am going to perform normal like before the COVID. So I have here 3 work rates impacted, and 10%, 25%, and 50% are my performance during this time period. It means that each different time zone, I have different productivity. Okay, let's move next, which is that we are here, go to second, and please see that the shape is a little bit changed because my performance is increased. The third one, and you can see that it's getting better. It's getting better, but still we are behind. Let's analyze this. Our work is going to be here, which supposed to be. So that we are still behind, and worst case that first, second, third, fourth, we are more than 4 kilometers and 200 meters behind the target, end of the June. So that what we need to do, this is the project end date, we need to have activity which we need to finish till here. So that remaining 3 weeks need to cover off the gap for 4 kilometers. And what to do? Of course, it's not that simple, by the way. All right. And from here, I would like to plan for remaining work. And my remaining work is, when I draw it here, is showing me that if I have keep my planned work rate, remaining time of period, which is that 52,500 is a quantity of the work, I need 1, 2, 3 months to finish this work, because if I keep the same continuity rates. All right, this is how I am now understanding what kind of trouble I have. I'm a planner, okay? And my boss asked me, okay, please show me if from the 1st of June, we come back our regular standard performance, how much time we need to complete remaining of the work. It means that 3 months. Is it acceptable? Sometimes, yes, but my boss asked me, okay, please tell me what we should do to finish our project on time. All right. First of all, I would like to create the recovery plan, and recovery plan is here. And I am just drawing here the recovery plan. And you can see that this is the recovery plan, which I show by black. And on the right side, I have resources, because how I can increase my resource performance without resource assignment, because in the Tilos, we have also possibilities assigning the resources to activity, so that if I select this task, okay, go to resources, I assign operator, excavator, and the truck, and for my task, and I want the system calculated total number of the machine operator, excavator, and the truck driver on here. I press the calculate. The system is saying that if 52,500 cubic meters work, which is, I go to here calculation, and system is saying that this is the remaining quantity of the work. This was a planned total quantity of the work. And in this remaining quantity of the work, I would like to increase my productivity. Okay, this is saying 5,000. What if I have double my productivity, 2,000 cubic meters per day? And please see that 52,500, all right? And I'm going to finish in the halfway, so that to be able to understand, so that please note that I have 17 excavator, 84 trucks. To increase my performance, all right, let me just select here, from here to here, I think I need to increase my resource numbers, all right? So that let me just ask the system by F5, and system is saying that if you want to finish your project in the middle of August, you have to double your resources. It is still too far, am I right? So that let's do it like this way, okay? Let's increase our resource capacity, planned for rate, for remaining time, 3,000. But quantity, but here, when we press F5, number of the resource required is higher. If you write it here, 4,000, I'm doing manual, by the way, you can do it is automatically with the recovery plan if you enter the actual. For the remaining time, you have to increase the number of the resources to 64. If you write it here, 5,000, and you can see that we needed 84 excavator. Of course, I a little bit put it more to show that how you can do it. This subject about each project can have different. Sometimes 84 excavator will be not available, but I saw in my life 2000 on site, so that this is nothing miracle. Okay, so here 52,500, and here we just selected 5,500. And we can find out this is the number of the resource we need to have our project finished on time. But this is the option one, which is 52,500 cubic meters can be completed daily if we achieve 5,500 cubic meters, but daily working is 12 hours. What if I change my working hours, not 12 hours, but 24 hours? Then number of the resource from 92 will drop to half if you work it in the 2 shifts. But this is sometimes not possible. As we always say, 9 women cannot make a baby in a month, because remaining time is 3 weeks, and we can't really sometimes achieve that fast some work. So that one of the option also, I delete this remaining time. And if this is a very critical, we have to finish, you can split and create a separated team, so that I can say, okay, my one team will have this area, and second team will have here, and third team will have here, and fourth team here, and the 5th team here. Okay, and here press F5. You can see that by entering the 4 separated groups in each area, you can have possibilities of the finishing project on time, right? So that this is the how, if you count it for also the quantity, it will be around 52,500 for remaining time will be here. This is the how we can do for the recovery plan, how we can analyze what is the resource we need, and how we can measure the delay which we are going to have because of the COVID. Do you have any question? Please let me know if you have quick question, because this is what I want to show today. I don't want to take too much of your time. If you have a question, I'm happy to answer it. Please type your questions.
So you are breaking into the small packages, correct?
Yes,
Hello?
this is the idea, which is instead of the one team starting, I divided here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 small sites, and I assigned the 5 teams in the
Okay.
different zone. And these
So
are
they can work parallelly.
Yeah, but total number of resources the same. 5 team can work parallel, because sometimes it is impossible to increase the capacity as a one team and work. It is a symbolic, by the way.
Yeah.
You can do it like this. Any questions? Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you have divided the plan for it. So you have divided into 4 crews, but they are excavating different amount. Then how it is possible?
Okay, because I drove it here a little bit, didn't just pay attention this. You can see that if you just here exactly started from the location, these are 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, and 10,000. So that I drove it just one day after, so that this is now 10,000, this is 40,000, and this is 12,000 because of the, you can see that this is a 2,500, and this is the 10,000. Okay, so that the total amount is 52,500. Okay.
how you have imported the data, sir?
Okay, there is a question about how I create the different productivity for different zone. Let me, for the Tilos user, explain it. First of all, created here time profile. In Tilos, we can create it time and distance profiles. This is the time profile. And when I go to calculation of the work, I mentioned here the duration data calculated from the time profile. So that this is the time profile here, and this is the calculation. So that this activity getting the quantity and the duration calculation from this profile. It means that between this time and this time, it's a 10%. So that this is automatically calculated from the here. If I, instead of here, 10, if I write it here, for example, 100, and let's split those tasks. Now I increase my how to call COVID for 100. It means that if it's not impacted, it will be the same till the end of the COVID 1. You can see it. This is the same. But if I write it here 10%, it means that this will be 10% during the COVID time. The same activity is impacted like this. That this, we create a profile, we assign this profile calculation, right? There's also one good question, okay? In this example, we have selected no distance profile because quantity can be here different than here and then here. So that if you have that kind of area, each distance has a different quantity, like excavation work is like going like this, okay? You can also create a distance profile, distance profile here, and distance profile will be also taking the quantity calculation so that you can have both distance and the location for the time profile at the same time. Okay. And there are questions, I will try to answer all of them. How we are patients for the when you enter the activity here like this, okay, this activity is automatically taking the location so that you are just seeing that when I select here the activity, system is understanding that this is going to have start location 3000 end location 4000. So if you move this activity, those data are automatically calculated. This is a smart build software understanding about the location and time by selected area. Okay. And let me just check another question. Okay. We have if we have a different team and different locations, all right, how to assign to Tilos in here so that I have this task here. I go to here area, Tilos has a plant and resource, and you can see that I have here plant resource. These are the same. If you just delete from here these resources, you calculate it here, 67. You can assign the resources. This one has a resource and this one has no resource. You can assign from here resources by labor, machines, and here materials. Okay. If you selected here the different resources with the resource model, unit price of the resource. By the way, I didn't show you today the budget, but if you also want, you can also calculate it, the budget, so that when you assign it here, right, this also give you the cost of these resources, so that if I am having operator, the cost of operator for this activity is $4,200, and for the excavator $7,200, for the truck it's $5,400. This is budget cost for it. Number of the team increase, of course, cost is increased, but depends, because for cost controlling and cost planning, we have three types of the cost modeling. One is a time-based, another is a unit-based, another is a fixed cost. Okay, depends what is your role. If I'm a project owner, if my agreement with subcontractor or contractor based on quantity achievement, I don't care. They have 1 or 1,000 excavators, because I pay them per unit achievement. So that if I am representing the client and project owner, investor, I will push my contractor to increase number of the resources. If I am a subcontractor, if I have double my resources, actually per unit, my cost is not increased, because I am obliged to achieve per unit, and it doesn't matter, in the total man hours will not change. My cost is based on the total man hour. Even sometimes doing the work faster can be cheaper, because of my overhead cost can be lower. That's why it's very important which role you are having, what type of agreement you sign up with the client. That's why you can analyze it. Of course, increasing the number of the resources, it's look like from one side, oh, I increase my cost. Maybe in this period, yes, but in total cost will be not changed too much, because you are not changing total number of the working hours. I'm trying to read the question. Oh, many questions. I'm just trying to read it. Okay. All right. One question is, how many baseline can be maintained here? Ketan is asking. You have no limits. I mean, for example, when you have the baseline manager allows you that you can create unlimited baseline. So that how to create the baseline, by the way, let me show you. You go to tools, baseline manager, and in the baseline manager, you can say, this is my baseline 1. Okay, and you create the baseline 1. And it's just to copy all the tasks and create the baseline 1. And you just change something. Let's say, okay, I want to have here working like this. Maybe I change my idea about the working like that, right? And then go to tools, and again to baseline manager, and create the second baseline. Show the baseline 2. And you can have it here, changes again. And go to here, baseline manager, and create the baseline 3. There is no limit creating the baseline in Tilos. And then if you go to display options, display the baseline, you can see that it shows the baseline. The blue line is a baseline, black line is a forecast. And then of course, you can go to baseline manager. In the baseline manager, you can decide which baseline is active and which baseline you would like to how to call display. So that from here, if you want to show me the baseline 2 here, you can show the baseline 2. And if you just decided show me the baseline 1, it will show the baseline 1. It's a very powerful, and you can compare the baseline 1 with the baseline 2 anytime. Okay. I'm just trying to read this. Okay. Ketan is asking another question, how we can do the metro bridges, that kind of projects. You can do it, really. I mean, maybe I can show you some projects in the metro project, how metro projects and bridge projects can be shown Tilos. Maybe I will just show the metro projects. Okay, let's show the Qatar metro projects. Okay, how it looks, too many activities and multiple activities. This is a large project in Tilos, right? And you can see that this is our tunnels. These are the stations, and these are the tunnels works and stations. And you can see that you will be able to see also station works, because there is no difference for us. The station work Tilos can be also shown the stations and the tunnel works at the same time, so that you can have it here, multiple activities, and you can see that huge program which you can display for the bridge works and the tunnel works. Okay, and let me just go another question. Okay, there's a one comment. We have enough machinery, but we don't have enough engineers and surveyors because of the working fortunes, increase of the number of engineer safety staff at all. Yes, I mean, there is a balance. As I said, 9 women cannot make a baby in a month, which is sometimes mathematics not working like it is. Yes, because 1 woman can make a baby in a 9 month, but 9 women cannot make a baby, 1 baby in a month. So that the man-hour calculation should have some balance. All right.
Yeah, correct.
There is a one question. If we have a critical path in Tilos, yes.
Right.
Tilos full critical path calculations, so that when you have, for example, let me just extend this one a little bit like this. And if you go to display options, when you schedule it, all right, because we have a schedule options, and when you go to scheduling options and select, for example, here, display for critical path, you will be seeing the critical activity, so that you can see that this activity is immediately turned red because this is critical. This is the critical activity. Of course, we can have it photo floats. You can see that these are the floats, free floats, you can have it. And also linking is working in Tilos, so that you can also make the link between these two tasks, so that you can say, okay, I have no possibilities to have the 2 teams, that this will be finished. Then you just link here the second task, and when you schedule F9, okay, with the schedule, and you can see that second activities automatically move here because of the link. Control Z, and you can see that Tilos provide excellent relation type: start to start, start to finish, finish to start, finish to finish. And considering also we have very advanced options, kind of working successor calendar, working predecessor calendar. Calendar time is a not holiday time, yes, so that we have a person complete duration, like equipment mobilization. It's a very powerful option in Tilos for critical path calculations. All right. And another question. There is a question also if we can have it constraints. Yes, if you go to task and if you go to link options for the predecessor and successors, and you can see that all type of the constraints are available. Start on before, and the constraint you can assign. And there's a question if we can link the activities with the certain rules. Yes, as I said, that you can have it finish to start, that kind of things. And also we have auto linking options, which is you can group the activities, categorize it, and you can link those type of activities with the. I'm just reading for the questions. All right. Can we import the Tilos for other format? By the way, Tilos is integrated with other planning system. You can have import export options, and you can export the Tilos program to Primavera formats, right? And also for Power Projects, and possible to Microsoft Project format. You can import for the this information. And of course, today my aim is not showing the general information about the Tilos. Subject was COVID. I'm trying to answer those questions, but in your territory, you have a partners, and we will share your email with our local partner, and we can organize a separated session for you, answering your that kind of questions as well. There is a question about progress update online. Yes. Good news is Tilos also integrated with iSetia. Yes, so that we have iSetia and Tilos integration. When you plan here online, you can enter the progress documentation, all the project information using with the iSetia. All right. Another question about is it possible to manage portfolio management in Tilos? In Tilos is a engineering scheduling tool. All right. Major goal of the Tilos is just letting you to make the project plan, but we have possibilities for using the sub projects, right? For creating the multiple projects, and the multiple projects allow you to make the linking between the project 1 to project 2. But if your requirement is a real project portfolio management, with in this case we have again iSetia integration, Tilos and iSetia integrated, and portfolio program and project you can manage in iSetia. But here you can create a sub project like tunnels, stations, section 1, section 2, phase 1, phase 2, with the multiple sections. Maybe I can show you some of the example here again. Let me open in here. It's a good example. This is again the Qatar Railway metro projects, and you can see that this is here. Let me just create my pen. Right. Okay. And here you can see we have area 1, line 1. This is the line 2, and this is the line 3. These are 3 separated projects. Okay, and you can create a separated structure like enterprise project structures, and you can link those activities. Is it possible? Okay, I'm just reading the question. Okay, there's one question about how much useful Tilos over Microsoft Project and Primavera. One thing I want to mention that, you know, both tool, Microsoft Project and Primavera, are great project management scheduling system, but Microsoft is not specialized for any industry. You can use for IT project, you can use for any kind of project for Gantt charts. But Primavera is a specific for focus oil and gas and construction. But we are very professional and focus on infrastructure project and linear project. Primavera is a good project. Many of our using Primavera and Tilos together. Our aim is not replacing Primavera in your organization, because you need Primavera in need, you need Tilos for specific needs. So that comparing both solution is really not easy, because one is apple, one is a grape, and but we can share some new document, and it's explaining about how to this. Okay, one question is that if there is any dashboard available in Tilos. Let me just, I think that many questions coming for program management online for the iSetia part. We have, yes, 2 kind of dashboard available. One dashboard is Tilos can create the histograms like cash flow, and if you want to have management BI reports for online dashboard, let me show you one example which we have integrated again with iSetia, and giving you the a couple of dashboards. Let me just open the sample. It will just to give you a good example. All right, here, for example, I would like to show. Okay, let me open here Bridgeworks. Okay, this is the Bridgeworks, which is that we plan in Tilos. All right, and here this data is like we have planned progress, actual progress, and this is the bridge, which is 972 meters. 5, 95, 155, these are the meters cumulative, and this is the pier 1, pier 2, pier 3, work, pile cap, pier elevation, the pier head. This is the one pier. On the blue line is showing the decking for connection, the pier 1 and pier 2 for the work. This is the dashboard, okay? If you select the plan progress, it's showing that our plan at the end of the June 31st, this was like, and if you select the actual progress is showing that unfortunately we have not completed pier works in this area because of the COVID, maybe, yes. And also you can make it comparison, like you can just go to data dates for the here till the end of the March, we achieved this work. Till the end of April, we achieved this work. But what was the plan? The plan was like this, but actual is like that. This is excellent interface for giving you the planned versus actual rates and assets. Of course, you can also see other work, administration work, like which work is land available, mobilization plan. These are the checklists for the plan. If you show the example, I would like to, for example, the road example, and maybe I can open this one. It's also to give you discipline-based progress. So let me just open. These are all the data which we can plan in Tilos, all right? And here is a good example. This is the highway, 10 kilometers, and you can see that clearing, grouping, earthwork, these are the construction works. And this is the, which is Tilos provide time, distance bar chart. To enter this progress, you can bring the dashboard here. 48%, and this is showing that 100, 200, 300, 400, 100% clearing work in the 100 meters, and 100% complete clearing work in the here, 80% for the work completed here. Total completion of the earthwork is 48%. You can also open, for example, the here for distance-based complete. 100 meters is 57% complete, so that you can have it here, report very easily. You can go also see which work has been completed in which area and which work is completed in which distance, so that you can have it, that kind of report available. Of course, you can integrate this information with your map. You can see also which area has been completed this, but this is a Tilos iSetria plugin that we have integration between the dashboards, and you can see that this is the highway projects and the map integration, so that here and you can see that how many percent completed. In the each area you can select, you can see the total money paid for this area, and this is also giving the map integration. You can integrate it, your project web map in this case with your project, and to see all the here for the by month, for the by years, and the budget informations, all this planned progress, actual works, this data we can provide it from the Tilos. Okay, I'm just trying to answer a few questions more. Okay. The question is that if you have a mobile app version for Tilos, we don't have direct Tilos mobile applications, but as I said, with the iSetya, we can also provide the possibilities of using the mobile browsers to update the project. The question is if Tilos can engage with the large number of the project being linked. Yes, you can do it in the under sub project in Tilos. You can develop the multiple projects.
How we can prepare EOT claim from COVID?
Yeah. Before this, the one remark came that show the dashboard in iSetya, but can we do it in Tilos? Yes, but here, this is the area you can add it. For example, here extra dashboard area. Yes, you can just say I would like to insert here the dashboard, and in the dashboard area you can develop here area for the dashboard, so that we can create here the dashboards by showing the resource, by showing the progress, by showing the cost. Let me show you maybe one of the example here, for example, what kind of reports we can get inside of the Tilos. Tilos provide here extremely strong also possibilities, like you can see that for the same activities for the printout, clearing, grouping, and granular supports, and possible inside of Tilos to achieve your resource, labors, cost histogram for the printout. And in this case, you don't need any application like plugins or iSetya or something. You can achieve cost, resource, progress, dashboard also in the Tilos or using the Tilos reporting functions. Okay, but if your management want to have online and dashboard, you need to use iSetya or something else for the BI report. Okay, one question, how to assign the constraints to activity. Very simple. You are selecting activity and you are going to here the link. You are saying start on. Assign it. Now it become a start on this for the constraint. It's very simple. All right. I think that 10 minutes we already passed. Any question coming? I am not even able to track the messages. And as I mentioned, we will share your detail with our local partners, and you can be contact, and we can make it another session. We are going to repeat for different topics soon for webinars. You can also attend it for another topic. And for extension of the time, one thing I want to mention, when you have it here, extension of the time, which is showing here the duration of the work and remaining duration of the work, you can have it from here. By using also the Gantt charts, we can also assign here the durations and new duration, remaining duration, and variance duration comparison with the baseline will give you the number of the extra days you need to perform for. Okay. I mean, during this time, I want to very fast try to explain it. Thank you very much for your time, and to hear you again for the next sessions and next presentation. Thank you, and have a nice day.